if you're looking ahead or looking behind, you're shooting yourself in the foot because those people can't help you.
What's going on? Welcome back. My name is Zach Holcomb. Welcome to the Kickin It With podcast. This is episode 19. Chris Hatcher, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well? Absolutely. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be fun. We were just talking about a whole bunch of fun stuff before we got officially started, and this might be even more fun than we originally suspected.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, is it good. Fantastic. Accountability always comes into play in the sports arena. You could say that's why it's so important.
That's the number one thing about being a professional athlete. You have to be accountable.
Yeah. Which you kind of know. I mean, I had no idea because, like, I've just kind of run into you randomly through town, and then a couple people were like, oh, hey, you played ball. I was like, oh, it's cool. I didn't know you, like, played in the majors for, like, 8 years. Like, Jesus, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, I try to be low-key.
Yeah, smart. Yeah. Safe.
Just a redneck that could throw a piss out of a baseball.
Throw a baseball really hard, huh? Yeah. So did you pitch a lot before you got to the major? I mean, probably because, like, in Little League, if, like, you're half an athlete, you can throw the ball, you're probably, like, a pitcher at least once or twice during the season, or no?
I mean, I really didn't pitch that much growing up.
Really?
I was always a catcher, and, I mean, I always threw hard, and quite honestly, nobody – in high school, we had a guy come in, and he could handle me, but, you know, there wasn't many people that could catch me in, like, middle school or early in high school. And then I went to college. I pitched like 2 innings.
That was in Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
UNCW. Yeah.
Yep. But
so were you there? You did UNCW for 4 years?
No, I went for 3.
Okay. And you got drafted as a catcher?
Yeah, I got drafted.
Freaking 5th round?
5th round, yeah.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty good. Top 200 picks.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what pick, 157. Does that sound right?
Yeah, something in there, 150s for sure.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't turn that down. You're not going to get that opportunity again.
No. Exactly. Especially, like, you know, like a lot of that game comes with, like, a lot of the top prospects are getting pulled out of high school and stuff.
Right.
And then they can decide whether to go to school or whatever. And, like, so you didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, I got drafted. Do I go to college or not? You just went to college and then things just kind of worked out.
As a junior 5th rounder, you know, if you want to go as a senior, you're probably not going to really improve your stock unless you are just absolute stud. And I wasn't. And I knew that, but, you know, at the 5th round, the money's not great. I mean, it's good money, don't get me wrong. How old was I, 21-year-old? Hell yeah, it was a lot of money. But
yeah, killing it.
In the grand scheme, it wasn't that much. But you're just, as a top 5 rounder, top 10 rounder, you're going to get more opportunity.
Right. They're not going to throw you away.
Yeah, your leash is going to be a little bit longer than that guy that's
true. 23rd.
You know, and that sounds bad to say, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. And because they got more invested in you, more time scouting you, they got more money invested in you, and it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, and it makes you feel valued, and you want to genuinely go to a place where you feel valued. I mean, that's whether you work as a clerk or you work as a baseball player. Like, you want to be somewhere where you're valued. And that's,
absolutely.
So if they are willing to take you in the 5th round, that's their 5th pick that year. It's pretty substantial.
And what made it even cooler was one of my teammates in Wilmington was drafted that year by the Marlins, too.
Oh, sweet. So why not?
I mean, we played up until AA together.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So how long were you in the farm system before you broke through? Like 2.5, 3 years?
Let's see here. I was drafted in 2006. Okay. And I got called up in August of 2010.
Okay. So, yeah, 3.5, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
I grinded it out, now.
Yeah, that's some time. I mean, it's not like you were on the fast track to the majors for sure. I mean, they made you
made it
out.
I made a stop at every level.
Yeah.
And repeated a couple. So
nice. How does that work? Is that like grade school? Like, in general, if you finish the season at this level, do you expect to be at the next level the following training season? Like, when you break camp, do you expect to, like, all right, I was in high A, I would hope to make it to 2A?
Well, I mean, accountability and self-evaluation is another thing.
Yeah, true.
You know, if you can look in the mirror and say, I could have done better. Yeah, you're probably you got a good feeling of where you're going to be. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't have a very good year, there's no reason for them to move you up.
Yeah. Well, and you know who's in front of you too.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and that was a tough thing at the lower levels, was looking ahead and looking behind you. Yeah. You know, instead of focusing on what I need to do to be better or how I can push them to move me up. You know, instead of doing that, you know, if you're looking ahead or looking behind, you're shooting yourself in the foot because those people can't help you. The only people that can help you is yourself.
Yep.
And that's it took me a while to learn that. Once I did, it was.
Yeah. Well, and like you're in a situation too where like for the first time the coaches are completely agnostic to who actually succeeds. They're just there for general success. And so maybe in them like coming up, you know, they know that like in high school or in middle school or junior high, like people just generally know like, all right, this is our roster. Let's just make everyone better. Well, like in the minors, they're just trying to make everybody better. Right. And really their job is to just look up to whoever's got them in that role as a coach or a manager in single A and be like, yes, look at how everyone is progressing really well underneath my tutelage. They don't really necessarily like care about like making sure Chris Hatcher makes it to the pros.
I don't know if I should break this news, but the coaches really don't. They write reports.
Do they not do anything? Is it like high school wrestling where I was? Because like our high school coach, he was really good and stuff, but like he literally told us, if you want to be really good, you'll do a lot of stuff that I never see.
Well, it's like, okay, and I don't know if it's every organization, but I was part of 3 of them.
Sure.
You know, when I say up top, I mean way up top. Hey, I'm just Joe Schmo. You do not hit and run with him. You do not bunt with him. Mm-hmm. He is strictly there to hit the ball in the gap. Or
gotcha.
When this guy gets on, he needs to steal attempt at least once a game. I mean, it's little stuff like that, and you know they all write reports after the game, and don't get me wrong, they teach and all that stuff, but this is going to sound really bad, but they're babysitters.
Yeah, you are who you are at that point. They're just there to make sure that the right people are getting
they can
calls.
help you develop. Yes, they can, but their main job is to push you along and to relay how you did higher up.
Yeah, in their terms.
Yeah,
because I noticed that a lot is like most of those groups. Maybe you could tell like most of those groups are like. Through the farm system, they're generally a core group of guys, and they kind of spend their whole career together being coaches together in the same general system. Is that largely what you saw? Or is it like always new organizations of like 19 guys coming together that have never really worked together? I mean, they've got their core, at least couple.
Every organization has a different set of values. So, you know, when they find a guy that latches on and to preach and teach what they want,
they keep him.
He stays.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a lot of yes men in the MLB minor league game, you could say.
Minor league?
Just all of it, really.
Oh, yeah.
It's all yes men.
Yeah.
Because it's all dictated by like 30 people.
Well, if you think about it, the game now is nothing but numbers.
Yeah, it's all analytics. It doesn't even matter like how you feel about a player.
I mean, we call them the nerds.
Yeah.
You know, they would come down and say, hey, and it's like when I got traded to the Dodgers, I had no idea why I was successful at what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I ran back and threw the ball hard.
Right.
And I got traded to the Dodgers, and they said, here, we want you to can this certain pitch. We want you to learn how to throw this one, and here's why. And they, you know, this is before all this analytical stuff came about.
Mm-hmm. You were there like, what, 15, 16?
I got traded to the Dodgers at 15. Mm-hmm. But, you know, analytics hadn't really taken over the game.
Yeah.
But they sat me down and said, hey, this is why we got you. This is why we got him. This is why we got him. Y'all are the top 3 guys with spin rate in baseball.
Oh, interesting.
We don't want you to throw a fastball below the belt. We want you to throw every fastball above the belt, belly button or higher. Mm-hmm. And we want you to throw all your breaking stuff down.
Yeah, low.
And we don't care if it's inside or outside. You can aim down the middle, like lateral wise, but you know, high fastballs,
down and out, down and in,
breaking balls down. Doesn't have to be up and in. Doesn't have to be down and in. You know, just high, low, change eye levels.
That's cool.
And you know, when they put the numbers in front of you and they can quantify it, you're like, well damn.
I should do that. Yeah.
That's why I'm having success. Because, you know, sometimes you throw a ball right down the middle and the guy pops it straight up and you're like, how in the hell did that ball not get out of the park?
Yeah, how's he not cranking that sucker?
But, you know, with the spin rate, they're thinking the ball's going to drop more than it did, and they swing under it.
Gotcha.
So
that's pretty cool.
But, yeah, the nerds would come to you with all this shit, and you're just like, dude, I just want to pitch. Like, don't give me too much stuff.
Yeah, I want to play ball.
And I have a feeling that, you know, they probably write the lineups. They're like, hey, this guy's good against him. And
it's like fantasy, right?
Yeah. Does it happen in minor leagues now? I don't know. I mean, I'm so far removed from minor leagues, I don't know, but
gotcha.
I'm sure it happens in the big leagues.
Yeah, for sure. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I know. I was doing a little research. I saw you were the Dodgers in 16. Big Cubs fan.
Yeah.
I know you got your first start at Wrigley Field.
No, my first appearance.
First appearance?
As a pitcher was in Wrigley Field.
Okay.
And, yeah, That was my first strikeout also.
Really? Dodgers beat the Cubs that day, I think, too.
We did.
Potentially.
We did.
We sucked at that time.
No. That was with the Marlins.
Yeah, it was when you were pitching with the Marlins. 11 or 12.
That would have been 11. It would have been June of 2011. Yep. First punchy was Fukadomi.
Oh, really? Kuska? That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Nice. I remember him for sure. He was like he was like still hanging on to his Cubs uni there after like everybody else got dealt away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Darwin Barney.
Yeah. Oh, this is sweet. You'll like this tie-in. So Darwin Barney went to high school in Beaverton, Oregon, and his I think maybe his dad was like the high school coach. But anyway, he went to church with my father-in-law's like family in Beaverton, Oregon. Super like random fact. But yeah, Darwin Barney was like he knows my stepdad's like family really, really well.
Small world.
It's really strange. Yeah, really strange. Because they were like, "Oh, you're a Cubs fan. Do you know Darwin? You know of Darwin Barney?" I'm like, yeah. They told me the whole story.
Side note: smallest guy you ever seen that swung the biggest bat. He swung a huge bat.
Huge bat, big barrel bat. Soriano had a huge bat too.
Yeah.
I was big on those guys. Yeah, hate to see that you had that injury in 16 with the Dodgers, but like that was like our year, so felt pretty good about that.
Rub it in.
It was a good year. The other thing I want to talk about was Sam Dyson.
Oh fuck.
I told you said, I said, hey, I want to talk to you about baseball. And you're like, who told you about my baseball stuff? I said, I Wikipedia'd it. And you said, hey, or something along those lines. I was like, yeah.
I can't talk about it.
Can't. Yeah, I figured.
Legally, I can't.
Darn it. Oh, that's funny stuff. That is funny stuff. Well, anyway, back to like the fun baseball stuff, because that's what I really enjoy. I'm selfish. Did that for a couple more years. I mean, really, though, when did you like really end the baseball stuff, the pro stuff?
After 18.
Okay.
2018. We had Jensen was 2 at the time, and I was having trouble staying healthy. Yeah. And when it got me, I think we were in New York, and I was with Oakland. He FaceTimed me. He said, "Daddy, I miss you." And I was like,
Yeah.
And then I didn't get a big offer. I was like, you know what? Oh, and I had started doing what I'm doing now, kind of in the winter. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to retire and hit the ground running.
Yep.
So
there you go.
Here I am.
Yeah, plenty of startup funds from the major league career.
Not really.
Well, it doesn't hurt, but
yeah, Those finance people only let you hold so much of it.
Exactly. Yeah, Sam takes a quarter, and then they get the other quarter.
A
and
quarter.
Then
I wish fucking Sam only took
a third.
Try living in California.
Oh no, that's right, just Oakland.
Bend you over, no
and
room.
LA.
Just.
So, do you think that you ended up in Oakland at the end because of Moneyball and your spin rate?
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, and also I ended up in Oakland because the Dodgers. I was coming off the disabled list, the injured list, whatever the hell they call it now.
Sure.
And every bullpen guy was throwing the ball like exceptionally well, which never happens. Like in a major league bullpen, everybody was just hitting on all cylinders. And they were like, "Hey, dude, we know you're healthy. We don't got room for you." And I was like, "Well, find me a job."
Yeah.
So
it's fair enough.
The next day he called me. He's like, "Hey, you're going to Oakland." I was like, "Fuck, of all places."
No. Send me to Washington for crying out loud.
But honestly, the locker room in Oakland, if you've seen Moneyball, when I was there in 17, it was the exact same as that movie.
Really?
Like,
that's cool.
Like the radio was still there.
No shit.
That radio was still in the locker
That's
room.
cool.
You're just like, oh my God, this place is such a dump.
Well, yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're playing in that crappy ass stadium that floods and has like all the horrible stories written about it.
Yeah. But what a franchise, I mean.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I mean,
because the Dodgers were freaking humping by 17, 18. I mean, they were freaking entering dynasty mode, even though they only win one?
They didn't win one until
you were out of there.
I was gone.
20?
Short
19?
season, whatever that was.
20.
Yeah, asterisk season.
They got the bullshit victory. Yeah. Full disclosure, I freaking hate the Dodgers.
Why?
Hate them.
Why?
I'm a Cubs fan.
What have they done to you?
They've been terrible. They ended our little run that we had. Like, not our dynasty run. We way underperformed with what we had. Like, winning in 16 fucked it all up. Because if they wouldn't have won in 16, I contend that they would have won 2 between 17 and 21. Because they were so stacked. Except the frickin' Dodgers killed them. They could not touch the Dodgers in postseason after 16.
Well,
I think 17 and 18 they got.
The thing about the Dodgers is they are built for marathons.
Yeah.
Like
Turner, I hate him.
great teammate.
He's a killer. He's a great.
Teammate.
I would love him if he was on my team. Yeah. Like he would be like, I love him like Rizzo, but I hate him because he's not.
Oh,
yeah.
They just build those teams with so much depth. Like even in the minor leagues, it's just like, like you go, like when I blew out my side or whatever. You know, I go to Rancho Cucamonga High A or whatever, and I'm rehabbing, and we got just absolute studs all over the field, and I'm like, yeah, why are these dudes in High A? And then you go to Double A on your next rehab assignment, and you're like, oh, that's why they're there, because there's 9 more studs here. And it's just like, just wave after wave. It keeps coming.
Yeah. Yeah, they had Puig coming up like back then, and he was still doing his thing.
Very bad rap.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think so too. Like,
awesome teammate.
Cool guy.
Awesome teammate.
Yeah. I was always a Puig fan, even though I embraced him catching shit. I thought that was I somewhat am drawn to people like that. I don't know why.
The thing about Puig, it was like, if you realize he's like a big freaking human, but he's a little kid.
Yeah.
Like,
he's playing a kid's game.
Most of the dumb stuff he does, he just simply did not know any better.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just being
an idiot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Dumb with a bat in his hand.
But dude was an awesome teammate. Yeah. I loved him.
Yeah. That's good to hear. I like that.
And the thing I learned real early when I got traded over there was, like, if you just automatically jump him or automatically, like, get on him, the wall's up. But if you're like, kind of ease into it like you do with a kid, you know. Yeah. And he just opened up and he wouldn't do it again.
That's cool.
Yeah. Awesome teammate.
That's cool. Yeah, I was a fan of that. I like those guys that, man, they just seem like they're just really misunderstood, or like, yeah, they like made a couple bad mistakes and people just won't let them live it down. But like, yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah. You could tell that too. Yeah. Like, he's one of those guys having fun making catches in the outfield that matter, and you're like, geez, I could do with a little less flair, but you're like, dude, just having fun. That's what makes him him.
Yeah.
And then it caught up to him. Just a little.
It did. A lot of other stuff caught up to him.
Amen. Absolutely. Well, who else did you play out there with that was really cool? Or just over time, man, like some of the best teammates?
Chase Utley was awesome.
Chase, yeah.
Kirsch is obviously awesome. Turner. I mean, there's few and far. I mean, not many just absolute turds.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of dudes get bad raps. But there were a few turds, but
yeah, I mean, we talked about one a little bit, so totally get it. You're gonna have that, yeah. But you know, like,
it's just like
personalities.
Anything, you know, your workplace or family. Shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, if you're around somebody you're working with all the time, you become like a family, and somebody's gonna get on your nerves every now and then.
Yep.
Or you're gonna have a turd in your family, or you're gonna have a turd at work. You know, it's just,
everyone has like that cousin, so.
So it's just, and also you're around those people 10 hours a day, 220 straight days.
Yeah. And you're not around like your core folks. So like,
your boy's back. You're not.
Tuesday, they're dealing with a little stress because like they got fired up on the phone from the wifey about being late. And then like, you didn't even think about it. But Thursday you get a little bit of heat. And then like, it's just, you just never know who's dealing with what on the backside of it all. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. But overall, pretty chill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, coolest thing you could probably do through your 20s for a career.
I think a fighter pilot would be pretty damn cool.
Fighter pilot? Yeah. Damn. Well, there you go, kids. If you're thinking like maybe you want to be a professional baseball player, according to Chris, scratch that. Go full bore into fighter pilot mode.
I mean, I did just watch Maverick like 2 nights ago.
Yes, you're fired up.
Yeah. But no, like people don't realize like it's a freaking job, dude.
Yeah, it's very serious.
Like, you think you don't just show up and play. Like, you get to a ballpark at noon, and you don't leave until 10:30, 11, sometimes midnight, Yeah, you're flying chartered planes, but you're still switching time zones.
Yeah, you're still tired.
You're not sleeping in your own bed. You got a different pillow. Like, the travel sucks. And, I mean, it's long days. Yeah. You're very well compensated, but people get jaded and blinded by the amount of money professional athletes make, but they don't understand. And I am not by any means saying I'm ungrateful, because I am very grateful for it. But people, they don't look at the other stuff. And I mean, it's literally a grind. And, yeah, you have an off season, but you work harder in the off season than you do during the season.
Yeah, because you're trying to get ahead.
Yeah.
That's the that's the pay period.
If you're standing still, you're going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a big, this isn't the 40s and 50s anymore.
Yeah, you're not just like, all right, I'll go back to being a banker for the next 3 months, and then I'll show up and start drinking beer again at 3 p.m, swinging this bat.
It doesn't work like that,
Yeah, that is very true. People are like, oh man, must be nice to make like $17 million and just work for 3.5 hours a day. And it's like, you are a fool. There's so much more that goes into it. So much more.
Yep.
For sure.
And I catch myself sometimes too. I'm like, somebody will do something and I'll be like, must be nice. And I'm like, what are you doing? You could do that yourself. Stop saying that.
Yeah. That's my least favorite phrase.
Yeah.
Must be nice, or, that guy's got all the luck.
It's 24 hours in your day, just like mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be nice. Oh. Being passed down is all I'm saying.
Well, we started really late.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're older than me, and your kids are probably younger than mine, I would say.
My son's 6.
Okay.
So I was 32.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I was like 22 and then like 24 maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Well, I mean, we really didn't want to bring a kid into that crazy world.
Yeah, never being home like 200 days.
But obviously it happened, which was great. Honestly, I wish I would have stayed in the game a little bit longer, just until he was probably 5 or 6, so he really could have those memories. Yeah. Because there's having your kid on the field, like pregame or postgame or something, is one of the coolest things you can do.
Yeah, but
it's awesome.
It'd be pretty sweet.
But yeah, that's my only wish I would have.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, "Do you miss it?" I'm like, "Hell no, I don't miss it."
Yeah, like everything since then's been cool.
Like I woke up opening day of 19. Oakland was playing the Mariners, I think, in Japan. So the game was on at like 4 in the morning. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up and watch it. And I got up and watched it. I watched like the first 3 innings. I'm like, click.
Going back to bed.
I'm like, I don't miss this shit one bit. So, but the only thing I really miss, obviously I miss, the competition. But I wish that I would have strung it out a couple more years just so he would have that memory.
Yeah, strolling a 5 or 6 year old through a clubhouse in uniform is a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna remember that.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about it sometimes, but I mean, he was only 2. And I'm like,
he's probably talking about it because you guys talked about it a little. Yeah.
Probably.
Well, cool, man. You got anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
Let's go get some dinner.
Awesome, man. That's Kicking It with episode 19 with Chris Hatcher. Appreciate it.